Parshas Vayera, Shvi'i. Here we go. This is the big moment that Hashem tests Avraham in the biggest way with the story of the Akedah. And the pasuk tells us famously that Hashem tells him, Kachna es bincha es yechidcha asher ahavta, that you should take your son, your only son, the son that you love, Yitzchak. And Rashi says that there's two reasons why Hashem delayed in saying Yitzchak and gave all these expressions before. Number one was because he didn't want to suddenly tell Avraham that you should shecht Yitzchak, because that would be very shocking to Avraham and that could potentially be damaging. The second shot was because he wanted to give Avraham schar for every single one of these words. The more pain that is created, the more schar that he receives for doing this. And the psukim continue, Vayashkem Avram baboker, that Avram got up early in the morning, and Rashi says that that's an expression of his own zrizas to do this very difficult mitzvah, yet he was so dedicated to Hashem that he got up early in the morning. In fact, the pasuk continues, it says, Vayachvosh es chamoro, that he himself saddled his own donkey to be able to go. And he didn't give this over to his servants, which he typically would, but out of his dedication to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he did it all himself. So he takes Yitzchak, and as well, Eliezer and Yishmael come along with him. And the psukim tell us that as he's approaching Har HaMoriah, Vayelchu Shnayim Yachtav, that the both of them go together, Avram and Yitzchak. And Rashi comments that they both went together, meaning with the same level of enthusiasm, even though Yitzchak didn't know that he was getting shechted. So of course he had a high level of enthusiasm, and Avram did. Avram still had that same excitement to do this rather difficult mitzvah as Yitzchak. And as they're approaching, Yitzchak says to Avram, we're headed to shecht an animal, but where's the animal? And Avram responds with rather cryptic words. He says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to see the animal for himself, B'ni, my son. And Rashi says this is where he was alluding to Yitzchak, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to decide, and if there is no lamb, it's going to be you. And at this point, Yitzchak understands that he is going to get shechted, and the pasuk once again says, Vayelchu shtehem yachtav, that they both went together, now teaching us that Yitzchak had the same level of excitement as Avram, even though he understood that he is going to be shechted. They get up to Har HaMoriah, Avram sets it all up, and he's even got the knife ready to go. And then the Malach calls out, Avraham, Avraham, and he tells him to stop. Rashi tells us the fact that he repeated Avram's name twice is a language of endearment, showing how much love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to Avram for doing this. And of course we know that Yitzchak isn't shechted. Then all of a sudden Avram notices that there's a ram that's caught in the thorns. He takes the ram, he shechts the ram. And then the Malach tells us about all the incredible brachas that Avram's going to be receiving regarding his children, that they're going to be like the stars, and they're going to be so numerous because of this incredible act that he did. And then interestingly, the parsha concludes by telling us that Avram was thinking like, oh my goodness, had I actually shechted Yitzchak, then I wouldn't have had any offspring. So he realizes that Yitzchak needs to get married. So he's starting to think about the fact that Yitzchak needs to get married. And at this point, the parsha concludes by telling us the lineage of Rivka being born. And Rashi says that was because Avraham was wondering, oh my goodness, had I actually shechted Yitzchak, then I would have no children to carry on the legacy. So now the Torah is telling us Rivka is born, showing us the next step, that Yitzchak is going to get married and Avram's legacy is going to continue.